All right, everybody, I'm back. New day. It's Tuesday. All right, let's see. I got the flu, so if I cough a little bit, if I seem tired, that's why. I got the flu right now. This weekend was terrible. Yesterday was pretty bad. Today's not the best either, but I'm getting better. I'm hoping tomorrow and the following day better. All right, but I'm gonna try to look for a setup today. Even though I got the flu, it might not be the best judgment, but I'm still gonna do my best and then accept the risk. But obviously, if I'm feeling too out of it and it's not A+, I'm not gonna take it. All right. The flu is definitely worse than when I had COVID before, so I'll say that. Fuck the flu. Shit is terrible. I haven't had that in forever. Excuse me. But, alright, let's get into this. Alright. Let me just log into my trading account. My other screen here. So going over like last week, I had a pretty good performance last week. And I'm happy with everything that happened in the charts. And pretty satisfied, pretty happy with the way I executed. I would say 70 to 80% of my trades. There was a few trades I jumped the gun. And I either wasn't focused or it's like I want to pass this account like quick for some reason. So there was FOMO within one of the trades that I took in the afternoon, one of the days. So that was like post AM session. There was like it was AM session. It was like after the silver bullet. It was like 11:30. I ended up taking a buy, and it was not a good setup. So I ended up losing that trade because I wasn't in my A game. I wasn't focused, and that's like part of the reason why it's so important to be on your A game and really focused in on the charts. But going over what we have here now on the charts, let's get into this. You'll see I have some of this marked up on my screen already, but I really want to go over what we had happen overnight, or where we are in the higher time frame. So if we go to the higher time frame, you can realize we shifted up and we pulled back. We have the volume imbalance. We have the volume imbalances down here that we rejected, and we're pulling back up. We're overall bullish, as you can tell. You're an idiot if you think we're bearish right now, but we can have pullbacks. But on the higher time frame, we're bullish. Lower time frame, like go down to like a 15-minute, we're obviously turning bearish, that we could continue down a little bit lower just on the higher time frame. That'd just be a pullback. It's not a complete ready to sell off all the way down to here yet. So we're not looking for a huge sell off on that time frame. But daily time frame, we have the daily open, okay, and notice how we opened up here higher and then we're pulling back. So we'll see if that closes that volume imbalance if we close bearish today. But we're just going to see what price tells us. We have news coming out in a little bit, so I'm not trying to find a trade before the news either. But we have the volume imbalances here that I have marked up from here to here. So we could see if those want to be traded to. So those could be a target. We already took out that daily high. So now we have this area within here. I'm going to mark up this 4-hour volume imbalance as well, just to have this on my screen. In case we do get up into this range, that could act as a resistance level for a possible reversal if it does want to continue bearish like it has been on this lower time frame here. So we came up, we hit the rejection block, and then we started trading down lower. Okay, and we're in the high of this range. So this entire range we have here, we're up in the premium of this entire range. So what's that mean? We can trade back into a discount of that entire range. So let's say this swing here. If we trade it back into a discount on this entire swing, it'd bring us down to this level here, and then possibly a little bit lower, which I would expect as well. So I like that. And we also have this entire level here from this high to this low, which would bring us down below into here. So just paying attention to just this entire range that we're in now, and we're getting our short-term retracement up, into that level, and that's okay. Because if we get that now, I want to see what news gives us. Does news send us even higher into here? Or does it send us lower? Or does it go higher and then give us something like this? Or does it go lower and then give us something like this? Or does it go lower and then we buy up again, hit this high, and then we start to shift lower and come down here? Or does it just shift higher and then continue long up into here and then we just consolidate up here? I don't know. So we're just really waiting to see what happens here in this price action with this news that comes out. So yes, but anyways, shifted up, came up higher. We took out this internal high here, so we hit the low and we came into internal and we rejected this high again, and then we started shifting to lower, pulled back. Still same thing, traded back down lower, shifted down using this for a value gap paired with this order block and this breaker. So we use that to then send price down below this swing low down into this 5 minute for a value gap that we have down here. And I was looking to target down here at this wick here from the 3 o'clock hour, but we never got that yet. So I wanted to pay attention to that as well, and that's what I was looking for this short that I took here this morning. Just on a paper account, just trying to trade the paper. So we had S&P at the highs, so we traded down, came in, and then we shifted up higher, took out internal liquidity, fair value gap, and we made an inversion 2 minute here, so we traded down below the inversion. So I entered the trade right here, came up and draw down just a little bit, that's fine, and we traded back down into this level, and I was using the standard deviations here for the -1 right there, first target, and I was looking for down into here, but that never happened. So maybe we get this news to come out here in like 17 minutes or so, 18 minutes. We'll see. It comes out at 10. So we have this swing here. Maybe we just consolidate. Maybe we continue higher. Maybe we hit this high here, and then we start to shift. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. We also got to measure this leg that we have here. So we have this leg here. Let's pull this up. Came above the 50%. This 62. The 50% of this range. This overall range here. We haven't quite hit the 50% of this entire range. I would like to see it come up into here and give us something, but that really all just depends. It could just react right from this little leg that we have here. So it really depends on the confirmations that we start to get and how these 15 minutes and the 5 minutes start to close. But then when I was looking at, we shifted down lower and we had SMT. We had a 1 minute inverse right here. So once we close that 1 minute inverse right there, took the buy on this candle, so opened up, traded down, and then took the buy, and then didn't even come up to this high yet. It took out this internal high here, which is a good partials, but just a break even on that one. It didn't even go up to the 20 points before the break even was hit, and that's when market opened here, so you can expect the volatility. But this was more of an A plus, this buy, than the sell, even though the sell was more of like a profitable one. But I'm here to tape read in the morning, especially if I had the flu, so I'm not trying to really push anything, you know. So yeah, that's it. I don't wanna push anything if it's not A plus or my time or like before or after the news. So well, before the news, I don't want to take any trades. That's what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, let's get into it. Excuse me. I'm going to measure our opening range because I haven't done that yet. So we closed here yesterday and we opened here today. Draw this out. We'll probably be at 50%. Yeah, we have 50%. That's bearish. And we're overall bearish in the higher time frame anyway. Let's do this on ES. Notice how ES has come so much higher than NQ. So we closed here yesterday and we opened here today. Draw this out. Lock it. Boom. Nice. So we basically, we opened up here. Came up, we filled an entire opening range. Now we want to see if we want to break down below this 50%. And then continue lower. Because this is, we're now in an order block here. We're in here. We already hit this daily high. So we want to see if this wants to start trading down and inverse this 5 minute. Inverse the 3 minute. 2 minute. So we want to observe all this price action now. So we made a higher high here. Lower high here. So this is bearish to me. I'd want to see if this 15 second just got inversed just now. So I'm expecting this just to start sending down below. I know I'm not trading before the news, but I'm expecting this just to start ripping down below. I wouldn't even expect to come back above that high. But I would just start expecting this just to start trading down below. Any of you that know how I trade, look at this inverse. If the low gets taken, like it's about to right now, stop's going to break even on that. But not taking it. This is just tape reading, just observing this. It's unpredictable, that news coming out. Because watch, it can just go right back to that high, which looks like it wants to. We hit the swing low. We didn't hit the swing low here. Close up above. Yeah, look at that. It's looking like it'll go right up. And that's why I just like to observe in these conditions right now. There's no need to force anything. Let's see. Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta keep monitoring where we are on the higher time frames as well. Like, what did we just do? Traded down. And then we're starting to shift higher. So if we do want to go bullish, this could happen here with the news. We do have the bullish SMT at these lows here. I want to look at YM because I haven't really looked at YM lately. We could go for this long-term high up here. But we just took all this internal liquidity, so we can really just pay attention to the internal liquidity at this point. We're making the lower lows here, higher lows here. So this news could really just come out. And it could flip this price action. Macro just started. 950. Let's see. 15-minute inverse here. We close that 15-minute inverse. So we got to see if that wants to hold price action or not. If that holds price action, we're good. And it's also a 30-minute inverse. We did tap this other 30-minute fair value gap that's up there. We're overall selling off. So this could just be fake SMT with these lows. Like this SMT here does not need a hold price. But we'll see. We'll see. This could really just... If I'm going to go bullish, I want to pay attention to this high here on ES. Obviously this high as well, because that lines up with relative equal highs here. And then also this high here, but we can measure 50% of this wick. But I'm not going to do that. We don't need to go all the way up into that. That's overall what I want to look at. And it's starting to look like this wants to act as a potential breaker. Where we shifted lower, and this could be a breaker if we trade down into this. Looks like we already did though. And we have that SMT. So we could be using this potential breaker with that SMT we have here at the lows to start sending price up. Like I said, sorry about the cough, got the flu. But trying to find a trade here after this news. Let you guys know what I'm looking at. So it's kind of 50-50 right now because we got the news here in like 8 minutes. So we got this 15-minute. So we're going to see if this wants to act as a resistance level to keep trading back down below this swing low, down into this level here. Because if you look from this higher time frame on the 1 hour, we shifted up, we hit the rejection block up within here, and then we slowly started making our way lower. If we were to go higher, this swing high should have been broken, and then we should have continued up towards this high up here. But we've been working our way lower, and we're using this as a potential breaker, this wick here. If we go down lower time frame, it'll be candles, but we could be using this breaker here as this resistance to then send price down lower towards this level here. But if news wants to just send price up higher, we want to wait. I do favor the shorts, but if we do like end up trading down to this order block, or if we even come up higher and then hit this low and we shift, obviously I'm going to take the buy and then hit this high, target up to these highs here, because there's a lot of trend line liquidity up within here. So if you just draw a trend line, look at all that liquidity that's up there. So we want to see what happens there, or if news just goes up and smacks all this trend line liquidity and we break back down into this green box is a 4-hour volume bounce, but if we shift that, that's a nice short right from here. So I want to pay attention to this right there. So 50-50 with the news. So we wait and then we just look at price after the news comes out. Yeah, here's the news. This is just what I'm looking for. There's a nice little scalp this morning in the pre-market. I usually don't trade pre-market on my eval accounts. So I was looking at something like this on the paper, and also with the short that was right here. So like that's what I was looking at this morning. So I can actually pull that up right here. I was looking at the short here after the 2-minute inverse close, and then we had this breaker. So I was looking to short right here, trade down to this low. I ended up closing like not the best close because I was looking for it to come a little bit lower. Closed here, closed another one here, and then ended up just buying this on the 1-minute inverse to take up to this high and this high, and ended up coming down to break even before it could get up there. But that's when the market opened, so I'm not really worried. Not worried at all. Followed the process, just testing the market before the news comes out, because it's against my rules to even trade before the news, so that's why I was just on the paper. And plus I got the flu, so I mean I'm not in like complete A game in the mental game. I got some brain fog going on and stuffed up, coughing. My fever just broke, so good. Flu is worse than COVID, not gonna lie. COVID's fucking fake. Excuse my language, but that was just bullshit. The flu, oh man. I do not like the flu. Waking up like every 15 minutes. Sleeping on the couch so my fiance don't get sick. Miss my own bed. Excuse me. Alright, we got 4 minutes left. So I'm paying attention to what we're getting here. I'm looking at this high here on ES. Maybe we want to smack that high and then go up to these equal highs. So I want to see if we want to get up to those equal highs or not. I'm not taking this buy here, but I'm liking how it's rejecting all of this. So I want to watch to see if we're going to get up to this high. Something like that. We're back up above the midnight open. This swing high. And then these equal highs. So I want to pay attention to all this. So let's see what we get here. Trade down lower. Could use this as a breaker here. Shift it up. Use this as a breaker to go long. Right here before the news. I'm not taking it. I'm just observing this. Look at all that trendline liquidity. Holy shit. All that on NQ, that's insane. Yeah, gun to my head, the news is gonna send us up higher. But, like I said, I'm not taking nothing right now. I'm just gonna observe it. And if it does go higher and I'm not in it, a newbie's gonna feel FOMO, but myself, I don't care. Because if it's A+, it lines up with my rules, like, I'll take it without a question. My best setups come with ease. It's pretty easy. They're easy to take because I've seen it so many times. They happen at least like once or twice a week, if not more. But there's a setup every day, but they're not necessarily A+, I would say. Alright, see, that's exactly why I don't take that shit. So now, we come back down below this low. Now we're starting to get some lag because of all this news that just came out. I want to see what this news even said. 9 million job openings, that's wild. 0.03. Consumer confidence is pretty stable. All right, we're trading for that low now. Okay, we hit our higher time frame PD array. We hit our target, but no entry presented. So, do I feel any FOMO that we hit our target without me even like getting in it? No, I don't give a fuck. So that means I just wait on another setup. So, with that being said, what can we do? We can zoom out to the higher time frame and see where we are. You know, so. Shift it up higher, we pull it back down into this range. We're back down into it. We're down below this 4 hour. We're above the 4 hour here. So look at the wick. We're higher, but we're lower here. If by chance we get a potential reversal here, maybe we come hit the swing low, maybe we don't. We could really just get a fat reversal, in my opinion, anywhere here. Lower low, 15 seconds, just close up above this, right here. So we could really just start going long from here. It's like, let's say we just took a long here. I'm not going to, but this is just hypothetical. Let's say it was right there when I said it. Looking for that, this high taken, you move to break even, you're looking for 20 points. Okay, that was based on a 15-second there. So now, we're just paying attention. What do we continue to get in this price action here? You just gotta stay observant, from the observant point of view. Okay, we got the data highs and the data lows here. Alright, I gotta turn you down. There we go. If it happens fast, it's not a good trade. That's the real deal, though. I would like to see a 1 minute inverse. I would like to see... I'd like to see the low taken one more time on one of these other indices. I'd like to see NQ still hold it up here. NQ can come down to the rejection block, but I'd like to see NQ hold the low. But I'd like to see this low taken on one of them. Because we do have that bullish SMT now. I'd be curious to see if we can get a buy. We do have that 30-second inverse. I'm not taking nothing, but I'm just going to observe this. I don't need to take anything. I'll let it leave without me. If it's A+, I'd really notice it, but it's not A+ right now. Even though it's looking like we're using this 1 minute order block to send up. Maybe we come hit this 830 first on ES. Maybe we trade down. Give us something like that. Or we just keep selling off. I don't know. We did have 50% of the opening range, and now we're just selling off. We do have yesterday's lows over here. Not really trying to counter trend a lot of this. So now we have a lower low here and a higher low over there. Get these equal highs up here. We have yet to hit this high. We're about to hit it right now though. 15-second, close the inverse. So looking like we're just gonna rip up to that high now. I'm obviously not gonna be in it, and that's fine. Yeah, from right here, it looks like we're just gonna trade right up from right here now. Hypothetically, if we were to take this buy, this is what we'd be looking at. But I'm not taking it. It's not high probability in my opinion. There we go. Yeah, I would like to see that low swap one more time on one of these, but I didn't get to take that. That's okay. Just gonna observe. Well, 15 seconds setup. That'd now be moved to break even. I'll try to mute my mic every time I have to cough. All right. So yeah, let's just see what we get here. I'm not trying to be married to either direction. All right, that's the bottom line. So lower high, higher high. But we did hit the external low, or PD array. So we'll see if this wants to shift and come lower, or if it wants to just, not shift, but just continue down lower, or if it wants to shift and go higher. So we hit this 5-minute gap. So let's see how this 5-minute gap plays out. If I was to really go bullish, I'd want to... It's a 4-minute gap, my bad. That 4-minute gap should be closed if we're going to really go higher. That 2-minute looks really good for longs. Same here on YM. We never hit that high up here. Never hit those equal highs up there. I know, part of me just thinks it's kind of like 50-50 right now. I know we just hit the low. Damn, I'd like to see ES smoke this low once more down into here. That's just what I'd like to see if I was to go long. It looks like it's just gonna go. I got the order block here. This might just be one of the ones I just wait out on. Damn. Here we go. It's gonna rip. Without giving me an entry. Let's go. It's all good. We were looking for that buy. It just didn't give me the entry I wanted to see. I'd rather not chase it if it's not like A+ to me, but a 2-minute close, very good. Really look at this bigger picture. 3-minute was closing good. We just had this breaker here, but with the bullish SMT. If we get this 5-minute inverse, as well as this 4-minute inverse, whichever one comes first, or if they even come at all, I'll look for some type of let's say continuation. But I just want to pay attention. We got a lot of liquidity that's resting up above here. Like, as you can tell, there's a lot of liquidity up here. A lot of stop losses were here. Obviously, this is a big-ass news event or something. This is a lot of algorithmic push right here. So that's why we came back down to break even those orders. That's why the algorithm had to do that. And the news wasn't even bad, so we just sold off at the news. So I'm not really paying attention to what the news said. I'm just giving it like another fundamental analysis. Like, the news was not bad at all, even though it just starts selling off as soon as the news comes out. It's just bullshit. So that's why I'm paying attention to what we're getting here in price action. And trade down, shift up, order block, test it, and then yeah, and then we have a 30-second order block came in, tested this 30-second order block, and now we're trading back up. And it's looking like we're just gonna continue this. It depends. I don't really care what it does either way. I did like that 15-second trade though. We should get up to 20 points. Those other ones never even got down to it. That's crazy. Oh, it depends if that 15-second. Like, I didn't take that because I don't like trading 15-second. I'd rather wait for something like higher probability. But this looks pretty good. To even go higher. I'm just gonna record this in my notes though, just for an observation point of view, you know? So we had a lower low made here, as well as higher low made here. And then we had this. And then we had this. This is going to my notebook. Just to review on the, like, when you like review your charts. Post, what was the news? Jolts. Post Jolts news. This is just observe trade. Because now I wouldn't even want to, like, be, if I was in this, I'd still be holding it. Either break even or partials. Like, if I went 20 points, I'd be at partials. It depends on the entry. But we also hit the 50% of, what did I mark up here? That was 50%. Was it, I believe it was a 1 hour gap maybe? Yeah, it's a 1 hour gap. So 50% of this 1 hour gap we hit. So I'd be moving that to break even. So that's all now recorded in my journal. All those screenshots I just took. So yes, now we're just gonna keep monitoring this price action. Like, does this now reject this area right here and then trade lower, or do we continue to buy up, close this inverse, and then buy up? It really just depends on this price action. I would say since we took that low and we pulled back down into this order block here on ES and we have all these equal highs, I would say we're going to go bullish. But I would really like to see something. This is just consolidating now. I want to see some type of energetic movement either down, or if we smack this low as we come down into here and then get an inverse, I'd take that buy up to these highs. Got a lot of trendline liquidity up there. Or we really get some more accumulation up here and we just hit the high and maybe we stay lower here and then we shift down and we get an inverse here. This might not be a bad short back down in this internal low, and maybe we come back towards this low here, and it really depends. Maybe we trade lower, but we'll start to just see this. Let's just watch what happens here. So this price action isn't terrible, but it's also not the best. And as you can tell, like, we had news come out, and you can see the news. Like, when we had 9.03 million job openings, that's really not much more than what we had here. And the consumer confidence is higher here, but it's not much higher. Like, this news is not bad, and we're getting the market just to completely sell off. And where does it sell off to? That 3 o'clock massive push that happened yesterday. Massively. Right at 3 o'clock, the algorithm just smoked that price up. It comes right down to it, and then it rejects that area. So those banks had to go move that order flow back up. So now let's see what we're getting here on the 30-second. We got our inverse closure here. Now we're just trading up. It's looking like we want to just start buying up from here. We hit this 1 minute volume imbalance. I'm not taking this buy. Like I said, I don't really like this too much. I told you what I wanted to see happen. So if I get to see what I want, then I'll take it. But I know it's not always gonna be perfect. That's the thing. There's no such thing as perfect in here. It's only probabilities. And it's looking like that setup I just mentioned here on the 30-second is gonna play out. But now we just hit that high, but we didn't hit the high here. But we have equal highs here now, and we have the equal highs even higher on ES over here. So the question is, what do we do? Because we keep hitting 50% of this 1 hour. This 1 hour gap we have here. So we keep hitting that 50%. So we really want to just break above that 50% and close that 5 minute above this gap here. And we got 30 seconds left in this 5 minute, and it just keeps rejecting that 5 minute gap. So this next 5 minute that's about to open, I wonder if it's going to trade down into here, and then we close up above, and then we get a fair value gap and an order block to send us up above this high. I don't know. I just know I'm sticking to my rules, and if it goes without me, then so be it. I don't really care. And I mean, that's the mindset you got to be in when you're trading. You can't care what price does with or without you. Even if you're in this, you can't care if it goes to TP. If you're in this, cool, and it's your setup, go for it. But and you got statistical probability that it's gonna work out, good, go for it. It's me personally, it's not. I think it's higher probability to go up right now, but it's not what's grown my account this far already. Like what grows my account is my A+ setups, my A setups. It doesn't need to be A+. Every trade is not A+, but if it's somewhere between like the B+ to like the A-, A+ range, like those are the good trades. That's what I look for. This 3 minutes about to close nice. Yep. Nice bullish 3 minute here. I like this 3 minute wick. It can trade down into here, so what I want to take this buy here and risk it coming all the way back down in to fill in this wick, because we can treat these wicks as a fair value gap. Especially if ES is looking like this and we're in the middle of this range that we have here and we got a higher high here and a lower high there. No, I don't want to take this damn buy. But if it's part of your plan and you want to take the buy, go for it. Oh, wait. I know some other ICT traders are in this buy, but not me. I'll be right back. I need another coffee. Oh, what do you know? It's coming back down into the wick. As I was mentioning why I didn't want to buy right here, because it's possible that it can pull back. I know what I have to see for it to be a probable setup here. I'll show you. I'll show you in just a minute here. Stuff like this. Like, does that chart look like this right now? Inversion. Go. No. Like, does it look like this right here? That wasn't the buy. This was SMT. Inversion. Enter here. Trade up. Stop loss down below here now. Hits this high? No. That's not what price looks like right now. If it's going to short, this will look like this. With the 3 minute IFVG. Closure. Enter that closure, taking out this low, taking out this low. No, it doesn't look like that. Shifts up. Trades up above the volume imbalance. Retests it after the 2 minute closure. You take out the high. No, that's not A+. I would say like that's a B setup. Because all that trend line liquidity that's right there. Like this is just more like it right there. So that's really like what I'm looking for. Something like this. Trades down, just rips on up based on that inversion. So that's what I'm looking for. And I don't necessarily see that yet. I mean, we're starting to get it now here on YM. So I want to pay attention here. I don't trade YM. But if we get something good now, as long as we're having it start to form, I'm okay with going with it. And I like the buys now, even though I was looking for that short down to that area. I like the buys now because the higher time frame, we're just so bullish. In the 4 hours, SMT, 2 hour, SMT, rejection blocks, all that fun stuff. We got the no wick here. And up here. So that could be a nice target. But like this is too choppy for me to enter on. Like if you're in a buy, why are you holding it in this shit? Like, I don't know. That just does not make sense to me. Like, even though the buy is probably higher probability, like, I'm not trying to be married in either direction. Like, even if you're in a short, I don't even know. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. It might make sense to your trading plan, but not me. Like, I would just rather wait for movement in something high probability, like in the pictures I was just showing you. There we go. Coming right back down because I knew people were going to be in that buy. Look at that. Look at that. I knew people were going to take this buy. Okay, we hit the low. Now look at what we just were talking about. Excuse me. The question is now, do we inverse one of these fair value gaps? 2 minute, 3 minute. Okay. Crazy, am I right? So I'm just going to be watching this 1 minute fair value gap here. So now he's got a 30-second closure. Let's see what happens now. We'd want to see that 1 minute close up above here. It's looking as if we're going to get that. So I want to monitor. I want to see price stay above this 30-second wick that we have now. So now we have this 30-second order block here. We'd also need to see, let's see here. This swing high is about to be hit here on, yep. So we're about to have this 1 minute inversed, but we hit the swing high, so this whole trade's like invalidated now. Take that back. It's not invalidated. It's less probability because we took out this swing high. I still would like to see this trade go higher from this area. So we took out this internal swing low. Okay. And we have all these swing highs that are up above here. So I would like to see this trade just continue up above. I'm gonna be watching this. I took a buy on this right here on my eval, so I'm gonna be watching this. Go to the higher time frame to really get a bigger picture of what we're seeing. So I'd like to see this trade up into this area. That low was never taken. It's looking like we're just going to trade right up and above, and we're really just going to rip this one today. We got a lot of liquidity up here. Got all these relative equal highs. We took out this low. If we get this 5-minute inverse, we should really just start trading up above. That's if price really wants to start moving today. If it doesn't, then oh well. So we just took out that short-term high. We're in this order block. It's rejecting a lot up here. That's the one thing. So let's see. Let's see. So we gotta pay attention. So we took out that high, like I said, it wasn't as highly probable now from right here. And then we just took out this swing high here on NQ. But I still like it. If you're really looking at this price action, we're in our discount. We hit the higher time frame PD array. We hit the higher time frame PD array, SMT, and we just have like this bullish order flow. 2-minute closure is about to close really nice. Yep, there we go. Close very nice. 3 minutes looking very sexy. We can get up into this higher time frame area that's up here and up above these swing highs. So I'm moving my stops to break even now. So let's see if we get this to play out. My stops are at break even. Let's see what we get. Looking like we could come back down to break even, but it's against my rules to not move to break even after we take out the swing high, especially on the one that we're trading. We just have more relative equal highs up here. We have this order block now here on NQ. I don't really care if it comes to break even or not. This trade lined up with my plan, so I'm just gonna stick to my plan. Goes my profit target? Hell yeah. If it doesn't, I don't really care. Another lower low here. Higher low here. Oh, this is golden, guys. Playing off this order block. See, we want to see this. Oh, that's a 4-minute. 5-minute, we got 28 seconds left. We want to see this inverse. Excuse me. We don't want to see this keep rejecting this 5-minute here. We really want to see this inverse right here. Just like that. I almost came back down to my break even. Holy shit. So we're about to get this 5-minute inverse. I don't want to be a hopeful trader, so not hoping. Let's just see if it does. Okay, we inverse it. Let's fucking go. So now we got a 5-minute volume imbalance here. So we traded down. Now we should be continuing up on through here now. We're going to see us hit this 30 points. And then higher. Let's see this 9-minute as well. Oh, this market's just kind of choppy, dude. It's kind of just weird. He's just been holding this damn range. There we go. Notice how we took out this low here, but we didn't over here. So that's keeping it valid. So still in this one. Very nice. So now we got this order block that's sitting right here. So we want to see this order block act as support to go higher. Or does it want to come back down even more? I don't know. Because we got that 5-minute inverse and we want to see that still act as a support now. I want to see this 5-minute inverse act as a support to send it up higher above this high and back up into this high. I'll lock in my profit if we get up into this high up here. If it even wants to get up there at this point. It looks like it wants to, but anything can happen. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, my trade just hit break even, so I'm out. Out of this trade here. It was a good trade, but just didn't want to play out. Alright, let's see what happens here now. This is a little bit choppy for my liking. I'd want to see a lot, like not a whole lot more price action, but if we just start lifting off here and get more inversions, I'll take this. I'll take another buy, but like it has to be good. I don't want to like force anything. So just screenshotting these charts based on like what I see. Equal. So what did we come down? I want to see price come down below here. One more time on ES. Come down one more time before we go long. Doesn't need to happen, but I'd rather see it come down here once more. We're digging into this 30-second per value gap here. It's looking like this is gonna play out again. Like from like right here. This is what it's looking like. I'm not gonna be part of it because I don't want to overtrade it. I'd rather wait for my inverse to present itself. But we just hit that area that I was talking about on ES. So now I would like to see prices pull away quickly and not breach this low. I don't want this low to be breached. So let's look at the 1 minute. So if we trade deeper into here, we're hitting this volume imbalance. Okay, so now if we close this 1 minute in 45 seconds and the next 1 minute candle inverses this for value gap, I think that would be pretty good for a potential long. So I want to pay attention to that. So we got the higher high here. Okay, we close that. No, it wasn't even 1 minute, it was a 30-second. It was a 30-second. I just don't want to get so focused on this lower time frame. That's the thing. So 15 minute came up, hit this. Higher high, lower high. You said that 1 minute close, so I got another minute here to see. Price might just want to keep sending down. I feel like we had our option to go higher above this 5 minute inverse, which it did get inverse, but it never ended up selling off. So it's kind of hard to really want to take a buy now after we're seeing these candle closures like this. So we came up, made a higher high here, lower high here, and now we're just selling off. I was in the buy from this area, came up, and then it came down, and then it hit our break even. And now it's looking like it wants to charge for this low. We never got this inverse here, so we're just trading down below this low now. Yeah, it's looking like we're going to sell off. Keep paying attention here. Not taking anything. just observing what's happening. But if we do go lower, we got this swing low, and we got this 15-minute fair value gap that's down here. Let's go over to the two side by side. Got this 30-second now. We got this inverse that's sitting within here. Draw that out. Retest. Trading down. Swing low. We just hit this liquidity again that we were looking at. So the 1 hour from 3 o'clock yesterday bought up out of nowhere. You draw that out. That's what we just hit again. So bought up out of nowhere. So that's like a lot of algorithm just pushing price right there. And that's not real like buying. So like that's a complete computer generated move right there. And price trades up, gets all the liquidity, and it starts selling off. Because people see that like, oh shit, we're going even higher, higher, higher. And then it pulls right back down. So then once we hit that, I want to look for buys. So that's why I was looking for this buy, because we had all of our confirmations here to take this buy after this inversion closed. I was looking for the buy. And we got it. But it never hit the TP. Price, I was looking for this high here to be met. Right within here. That would have been a nice little move. But now, we get the SMT at these highs. Sometimes, if you really get the hard time frame narrative, there can be opposing SMT that doesn't mean anything. So, yeah. Let's just see. Let's just keep watching what we get here. Because we took out another internal low. We hit that liquidity again. So I want to keep observing this price action. We got to keep being observant here. Like, what are we getting? Like, what are all these higher time frames looking at? I'm like looking at the other wicks. Like, what are we getting? Okay, we just took out this low now. We didn't do that before. Oh yeah, we did over here. And we just took out this low. In there. Okay. We didn't take out that low there. So we got bullish SMT now. So now I'm going to be watching this inverse. Okay, we probably got a 30-second inverse here. Yes, we do. Right there, we just closed that, so I would expect this just to keep ripping from here. I would expect this just to rip from this 30-second inverse. So that alert was on YM here, because we hit that no wick candle. And that could be pretty bearish. But we'll see. We'll see the higher time frame. We have that 5-minute closure that's very deceiving. But we want to see if we, like, I'm waiting on that inverse. Let's say this 3-minute. If this 3-minute can inverse this, that's high probability that we do want to keep going higher. Look at that. We're still moving higher here. We're hitting this no wick. We got these relative equal highs right here. And we're just pulling back down here on yes. So let's see. Do we come swing this low one more time or do we not? Maybe we're playing this for value gap just to sell off from here. That could be what we're doing. If this higher time frame really does want to keep going bearish. Because it's looking like it might want to. Yeah, if we get this 3-minute closure like this is definitely a bearish setup. Not definitely, but It's looking more and more like it wants to keep going bearish. That's why it's best is to keep watching and waiting. We never got that 3-minute inverse that I was talking about here. Notice how we just hit that and trade away. So we're in our 1050 macro. I'm paying attention to this 3-minute here. So we got another 2.5 minutes left to see if this 3-minute can get up and above it. Or not. It's either or. Because we got these equal highs here on ES. Got the order block. Lower low. We hit this fair value gap paired to this breaker. We got a lot of confirmations for the long. We just got to see some real price action getting ready to tell us like that it wants to go. Otherwise, it can just keep going bearish. Keep going to the bigger picture. You got this 15-minute for value gap. And we hit this low. And we keep rejecting this low right now as it's doing. If we close in 6 minutes this bearish on the 15-minute, I want to pay attention to what we get in structure to see if it wants to continue to trade down towards this low. If it doesn't hit it already, and then possibly this fair value gap that's down here. And then we could possibly reach these equal lows here too. If we go to the higher time frame here, on all three of these, side by side, we took out this high, higher high, lower high, came down. These wicks here, lower high, but a higher high. So that's indicating lower movement. And we took out all this internal liquidity here on YM. At the same time, we're making a higher high here on YM and ES, but a lower high here on NQ. And we got a lot of sell side liquidity here on the 4 hour. I was bullish, but it's looking like I might want to start going bearish. I'm just going to wait here. This trade could still move either direction, but I think higher probability is this low right now versus getting up into here. And then potentially even lower. But I'm just going to wait. Resist the urge not to get in. I'll just wait on this. Multi-vehicle lows now. So we came up above that high, but not here. Bearish SMT. Hit that internal range. Do we have 50% of this range? Let me see. Yes, we did. Not taking nothing yet. See, like, I wouldn't want to long this now because we're just so close to this low and we just made equal lows here on ES. So if this longs from here, even if we get like an inverse, I don't care because we got all these equal lows. And then we just hit like this fair value gap here in the 3 minute, which it could come up and hit these relative equal highs now. But I want to pay attention. But I'd want to see these lows taken somewhere over here on ES first. Yeah, I'd want to see this 5 minute close up above this inverse. Then maybe this 3 minute too, but then I still want to see a pullback and more inverse and then something to go long on that's high probability. Right now, it's just not seeing nothing yet. Yeah, I would expect this just to rip now. Here to here. Potentially even go longer. Got a order block. We got another 41 seconds until the 11 o'clock hour. See if we get some movement from that. Maybe we get a reversal around that time. There we go. Still got the data lows and the data highs up here. Data highs. Oh, data lows are hit on ES, but not on NQ. They hit over here. Yeah, they're hit over here. I'm still fucking bullish. Excuse me. Now we got this breaker here, so it's looking like we're playing this breaker. And drop this one here. I just don't like those equal lows though. That's it. We're back in this 3 minute for value gap. This looks like it wants to long, but man, with experience, you just get to realize like there's just something you just don't like about it, and like there's just something I don't like I don't like about this long here. This looks pretty decent on that 3 minute, but just want to wait. Yeah, the 1 hour closed, traded up, and now we're pulling back down. So maybe we get a pullback here and then a move up higher. We'll see. We'll see if this pulls back down into this wick, and then if we get something to go long in. Now we got this 5 minute order block. All these relative equal highs, a lot of trendline liquidity. So we just built even more trendline liquidity here. So if all this trendline liquidity, okay. Now let's see if we want to rip this or not. Okay, now we got SMT. We haven't hit these highs yet, but it looks like we're about to. We just hit the highs right there. We're in this breaker. You have 50% of this breaker. And now we're just playing it right there. That's a volume imbalance play right there. 3 minutes. Did we get back up above it? Nope. We didn't close up above it yet. So we can't forget these data highs right here. Got him up here too. Looks like YM's gonna hit him first. With this internal high here as well. So we have this order block here, traded down. We have bullish SMT. We're playing off this breaker. So I wonder if this order block wants to hold price action. Right here. I wonder if that's going to want to hold price to get up into this high up here. Let's say these data highs. Or if it just wants to keep trading right back down. So now we have come back into the breaker as well as this 5 minute order block. So obviously I didn't want to hold. So we're in this for a value gap again down here on the 2 minute. So I want to see if this 2 minute for value gap wants to still hold price. Because notice how we're still getting that bullish SMT. So let's see if this really wants to keep holding price action. We're in this volume imbalance here on ES. Do we inverse this 30-second here, or do we not inverse this? So just came back deeper into this breaker. Doesn't look like we're going to inverse that 30-second. No, we didn't. But it looks as if this low should hold if we're going to keep going long. So I want to see if we want to either consolidate here or just start moving up. But we're just playing in this breaker now. We're moving up higher here. We got this high up within this area. So as long as this high stays intact, I don't know. Just wait for more information, honestly, in this area. This is just choppy. It's hard to read it. So I feel like if this high gets hit, we could expect a short to happen within a lot of these. But if this high stays open, then maybe this price wants to start gravitating back up into like 50% of this range here. Or more into like a premium. Not even just 50%. So like, let's measure this. It could be at 50% now. Yeah, I'm saying like more into like a premium up within here. Dude, look at this. This is shit. This is so shit. This is just barcode price action here. NQ is not as bad, but like, still. Taking this buy here and looking for it to go long. It just came right back down. And still just like really nothing than any of this. This is just garbage. So now we're in this 1 minute for value gap. We gotta see if this wants to respect this 1 minute for value gap. Because we're not paying attention to this breaker anymore. Well, it's not respecting it. If we were gonna respect it, we should have came down here and then shifted up and used this breaker now to then continue up. We also never had that 3 minute inverse. That means these conditions are low probability. Like, it's just trash. You can also tell that price action should be trash today. Look what's tomorrow. FOMC. So when you have FOMC the next day, that means expect the day before to be shitty price action, which is kind of what we're getting. It's not following through on our analysis. We hit the higher time frame low, which is here. And then we shifted market structure to go up towards all that trendline liquidity. And we never hit it. So we'll see. Maybe afternoon will give us something a little bit better. So if this morning was choppy, maybe we can expect something better to start coming out soon. Now we hit this discount again. I need to see these lows taken here on ES. Equal lows right there. Yeah, this is usually where the market starts getting pretty slow, even though it's been slow like all morning. Not really much. We're not really getting much price action. Like, I don't, even if this does buy up now, there's no confirmation in this. This did start to look like it was going to get good, but it never really did. So do have those equal lows there. We close this inversion. We rejected that 1 minute. I'm gonna keep paying attention here. We still haven't hit that high yet. So like I was saying earlier, as long as we don't hit this high, we should be good. One minute just opened. We're pulling back down. Big time into this 30-second fair value gap. We're still in this breaker. I would expect this just to rip up from here. Oh, but now we just hit that high. Oh wait, did we yet? Yeah, we just hit that high right now. So that's lower probability, but still, I would expect this just to be the sixth sister and just start ripping on up. But we'll see. I'm not in on this, so I'm just gonna wait and observe. Exactly, shitty price action right now. That's why I'm not taking it. That's what I was saying earlier too. As long as we hold this high on YM, we should be like trading up on these other ones. Or this just consolidated, traded up. As soon as we hit that high, look, it starts selling off. And we have all these equal lows here on ES. So it's looking like we could possibly go target those lows. But I'm not trying to guess anything. This is some shit price action. I don't want to be in this. This is just complete garbage. So, I like to stay out of it. I'd rather wait for like a pretty good setup. But yeah, it's 11:14 now. Price action ain't the best. Something could set up, but usually this is out of my time frame of trade. If anything good is gonna set up, like I wouldn't want the chart to be in this area. You know, I wouldn't want these equal lows to be here. I'd rather have like some fast movement, the low just taken with an inversion, SMT, and then the buy. You know, but like we're not getting that now. We're just getting like this chop in this range. Even though we'll do have like we have a small inversion, but like these equal lows down here, it's just trash. Like you gotta know like when to be a professional, when not to be. Like this is not good. So like even if you're marking up your breaker and then your order blocks, like this stuff like ain't holding. We got this fair value gap. Look how we play out the fair value gap, come up to the rejection, come into the breaker again, and then we pull back down into that fair value gap. Like this is not something high probability. I know we're like accumulating at the low. We're accumulating at the low, and we're likely just to inverse this 1 minute now and then trade higher. It's not in my time frame. And it's not high probability for me. Not anymore. I'd rather just save the account, preserve it until like better conditions, because there will be better conditions at some point. He's got to be on the charts. Like even yesterday was better than this shit. But we go over to yesterday. I mean, the low was taken at 11, and then we inversed right here. So low was taken at 11. Low was taken at 11. We did the same thing though. We made the equal lows, and then we shifted. Okay, and we used this 1 minute IFVG here. Then we rejected and made lower low. Boom. Like that's not a terrible setup to enter this trade at 11.11, 11.12. 11.11 probably the best, but that's not terrible going up towards these relative equal highs. Targeting up into here, but that would have been a break even, and then we end up trading higher. I wouldn't be in this over here. This is like not time frame for me to trade, but this one, not a bad setup. Yeah, we just hit the data highs up here on YM. So we just hit those news highs from this morning, but we didn't get it here on NQ. So we just haven't had our movement yet. But it's looking like we do want to move up higher on ES. But I'm out of it. I'm not trying to play anything too hard. Not the best price action. It is what it is, you know? That's why you gotta just know what you have to look for, and then know, like, you know, like, when your best setup will be there. You'll know it when you see it, and, like, only you are gonna be able to determine that. Like, mine is simple, okay? It's liquidity taken, and then it's like, where's the draw on liquidity, which would be up here, and the data highs up here. All right? And when the liquidity gets taken, what do we hit? The higher time frame PD array. We are in a discount from this range. We hit the fair value gap, and we hit that algorithmic move up from 3 o'clock yesterday. And once we did that, we have to get in sync with order flow. And how do we do that? We look for our SMT. We look for our fair value gaps, our inversions. And like, what's that look like? You know, it looks like this. When you record all your trades, you'll know what you're looking for. Okay? You know what you're going to be looking for because you record them in your notebook. And you look at this every morning before you start trading. So that's why you're not going to have FOMO from missing the buy here, where I used to have FOMO. But now it's like, okay, I know what I need to look for. If it goes up there without me, fine, whatever. But when I knew what to look for, when I took this buy here, I knew what to look for. And when I took this buy, I said it's lower probability because it was high probability when this trade closed, but it was lower probability at the time when YM took out this short-term high. The same time we closed this. But it was still a valid trade setup, but it wouldn't be A+. I would say it'd be A- A setup. But since we just took out this liquidity on YM, and we're in a discount, and we had candles with no wicks on them up here and equal highs, it's still high enough probability to take this setup because we just took out this internal short-term low as well, and we took out external liquidity here on ES, and we hit the 830 open here. So that's algorithmic, that 830 open. So that's why this trade was valid, and it came down to my break even, and I would say it's annoying, but I don't really care. So now nothing is really set up. I thought we could have bought off this, but we sold down. I thought once we hit this low, we could have bought up from here, but we never had our inverse. So nothing's setting up. It's just barcode. And like, if you look at any of the wins here, you can notice none of them look like barcoded like that. But you look at the losses, you can see this is like barcoded. Not even that one. This one here. This one wasn't even necessarily barcoded. It was inversed here, the 2-minute inverse. So that's just what I'm looking at there. And then we had this one. We had no SMT. I was looking for the short. Here, we had no SMT, even though we just hit the higher time frame low. We shifted up. We just pulled back, and I'm looking for a short in an area where we didn't even take out liquidity yet. We had these relative equal highs up here. So in that situation, it's best to wait. So that's why I'm not taking a trade in something like this, because it doesn't look like my A+ setups from the previous trades that I've won, whereas this one did. This one just happened to be break even, and that's why I recorded it in my notebook. I recorded it right here. I recorded this in my notebook, and it just comes back down to break even, and I put it as like a break even trade. So yeah, that's it. But I'm gonna get going now. I got other stuff to do. Oh, it's live stream from before. Let's see. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna get going. But take it easy, guys. Not financial advice. Love you all. Peace out. See you next time. Peace out. Bye.